Just trying to be a good boss, dude. You said you wanted to go fishing.
Yeah, but it's too hot out there.
Well, I know it's hot, dude. I mean, come on. What do you expect?
But it's hotter than two rats fighting in a sock.
What?
Hello, string pickers. Run them to the noise. Let's go!
Are you really gonna look at this cute face and not subscribe?
Welcome back, you bunch of string picking guys and gals, you to the String Pickers channel here at my obscene studio. And if this is your first time here,
Like and subscribe, by the way.
That's right, String Pickers. Today we are getting into the Austin AU786 LP-style. That's right, String Pickers. We have got some parts in for this guitar, and we're going to go through those, do a little bit of a look-see at what we got on the bench behind us here in just a minute. The guitar of the day is our good old buddy Lieutenant Dan. He ain't got no legs. I haven't had Lieutenant Dan off the wall in a while, and I just happened to look at him yesterday, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get that guitar down and play it a little bit, because it's not getting much love with all the other guitars that I've had to work on here recently. Got it down, as always, String Pickers, the Fesley FLP 400 with the Safu Seymour Duncan Invader clones in it. Does not disappoint. This guitar is just brutal. But like I said, however, we've got parts in for this guitar. We're going to go through this guitar and look at it. I have found some brass tuning machines that I am going to replace these with. These feel a little loose. I don't necessarily think they're bad. They don't act like they're glitchy, you know, kind of wobbly or anything. I think the biggest part of them is the screws weren't screwed all the way in the back, because I got one loose this way. But I got a set that's going to go on here that come off of my ESP LTD EC256. The ones that come stock on that guitar before I put locking tuners on that guitar. There was nothing wrong with them. I actually have them all right here, and they should drop in just fine on this guitar. So that's one of the things that we've got. I didn't have to pay a dime for. So let's get you guys on the bench over here, get you to looking at some stuff that I got that came in for this guitar, and start working on it. How about it? Are you ready? You ready? Are you? You guys coming or what? Okay, String Pickers, the first thing that we've got here is going to be the pickups that we're putting into this guitar. And these are just the SAFU pickups. They're 4-wire. Of course, I do not plan on doing any coil splitting on this guitar. I feel like that coil splitting wasn't a thing in the old Gibsons, and I kind of want to wire this thing up to where it's kind of like the old Gibsons, you know, since we got a Gibson Les Paul wiring system going on. But yes, we have our bridge here and we have our neck here, and we also said that we were going to check these things for their output. The neck pickup is supposed to be putting out anywhere between 7.5 and 8.5K, and the bridge pickup is supposed to be putting out close to 15K. So we are going to check that out and make for sure that that's what we're going to get out of these pickups. So the neck pickup will be first. Let's hook this up here, and let's hook up our ground here, and we're looking at 7.86, so that's within the realm. And then let's go from the hot here to the ground here on the bridge, and we're looking at 15.78K. Pretty impressive. I mean, that's going to be hot. But that's okay. We can live with it. We've got our pickups in. Pretty happy with the output so far. Just hoping that they have a good tone to them, you know. Really, like I said, I don't want to split it at all. We also ordered in some top hat gold colors because we wanted something to kind of go along with the bridge and tailpiece of this guitar. So we've got that. We've also, from Music Lily, ordered a whole drop-in wiring set. This is going to be, this I'm excited about. I am changing this out for a pure tone though. I want to get away from that. That's just, you know, I don't care much about these, but I'm going to put a pure tone in here. And then, of course, 4 500K pots, 2.022 tone capacitors, orange drops, and treble bleeds built in. Not sure about the treble bleeds yet. We're just going to see how those work. We may end up taking the resistor off and then just leaving that little ceramic deal, because it just depends on how it sounds. You know what I mean? How you know. Plus, we also got a new toggle switch, but I'm going to try and avoid using this at all costs. I may end up using it, not for sure. Just going to see. If anything, I may use the wire off of it because I love that braided wire right there. So we may end up doing that. And let's see, what else do we have? We have this stuff here that's going into it. We also have our tuning machines here. Now these are LTD branded tuning machines, and they are nice and tight. They worked really well on that ESP LTD I had up there. This one is a little bit loose though right there, so let's tighten this up just a little bit. And then we've got here, that feels good, that feels good, and that feels good. So yeah, we're good to go on that. So we've got those, and we've got this, we got everything we need except for the pickup covers. So what I'm going to do for you guys, so you don't have to sit through and watch all this boring stuff, is set you up on a time lapse and let you guys kind of just hold on, because we're about to go 90 miles an hour, brother. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say it, so I'm just going to get it out of the way. Hey, Casey, why didn't you solder it when it was on the plate? Because there's very little soldering to do. I can just put it in here and then and it's done. All I got to do is wire up the pickups and the three-way switch. So, you know, for that matter, it's in good shape right now. I am taking this off, though. I will say that. It is one of the better standard output jacks that you can get, but at the same time, we like pure tone around here, so we're going to get rid of that. There we go. Put this in our little drawer here with the rest of them. Get a pure tone out for later. Oh, we need to put that in there. So right now, I guess we need to put our pickups in our rings and get those going. They are 4-wire, but we are not splitting any of the coils. We are going to leave them both full humbucker. So we are definitely going to have something that is going to scream, considering what we got when we done a reading on the pickups. Also, during the time lapse, we have got our LTD tuners on here. We have went ahead and scuffed up the back of this neck, and I know it looks like there's shiny spots on there, but there's not, guys. It's just oils. Once I clean that off, it'll be good. But it's smooth as silk, man. I love it. I went ahead and changed out the three-way switch here, so I'm not going to put that cover back on until I find out it's in the right orientation, and because I may have to turn it. But yeah, you know, I mean, hey, this thing is ready to play as soon as I get this thing wired up and strung up. So we are going to look at the instructions on the Music Lily wiring harness. I just want to see how easy they've got it. Okay, I see. Neck tone, bridge tone. For those of you who don't know, I have my bridge volume on the bottom and my neck volume on top, and then the neck tone on top and the bridge tone on the bottom. And it looks like it gives pretty good instructions to wire this stuff up. Great job, Music Lily, especially for people that's not really done this before. That's really, really handy. That is really, really handy. LP-60s Pro. That's what we are lined up with as far as that. Let's see what's on this one. Oh, this is like written stuff. Oh, warnings and instructions. Okay, yeah. Well, we've been through enough of that, you know. I mean, around here especially. So, guys, as bad as I hate to do it, I am going to put you on another time lapse. Oh, also, I wanted to bring this in here. Look what I put on the top there. Look at that. Most of you guys don't know, I used to be a bow hunter, like back in the day, and I used to love shooting Matthews compound bows, and I loved using Muzzy broadheads. If you want to bring the meat home for your freezer, Muzzy broadheads do it every single time. And that's a hat pin that I had, and it's been laying around for a long time, and it has Muzzy wrote on it, and it has Bad to the Bone on the other side. So instead of doing anything with that little hole that was drilled up there, I just put that in there. Thought that was a nice, cool little addition to this guitar. I didn't want to really put any kind of stickers or anything like that over it, but at the same time, you know, it was just one of those things. I thought, well, it'll help the looks of the guitar. So, okay, guys, here we go again. I'm going to try and get all this done in one video, so I apologize for the time lapse and everything. I will explain what was done to this guitar, what problems I run into, all that good stuff whenever we come back from the time lapse. Okay, guys, we have everything wired in just the way it is supposed to be. It is a bit of a mess. I should have trimmed some of that back, but I'm not sure that it's going to stay like this, so we may end up making some changes at a later date. I'm not sure, especially when the treble bleeds are concerned. We may do something about that. I don't know. Just really depends on how it goes, but we are going to button it up. And I wanted to share a mistake with you guys that I'm in the last little time lapse. I had gotten everything wired up and absolutely no sound when I did the tap test on the pickups. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. I mean, it says right here LP-60s Pro, and that's what we're looking at, you know. And I'm checking my work. Everything looks to be correct. Everything looked to be correct on the other wiring for the potentiometers. So I did go through and I did look, and I found the problem rather quickly, I might add, and I'm thankful for that I didn't have to spend half a day looking for whatever was causing me to not have any sound. This cavity is shielded, has shielding paint on it, and this shielding paint is connected to the rest of this guitar. One little lead off of that three-way switch was touching that shielding cavity, and it was killing my sound. And I got a screwdriver in there and I bent it down away from it, immediately got my sound back. So if you ever have these kind of switches on LP models or anything like that, and it is kind of a tight fit, make sure that you bend those leads back away from touching the shielding on the side of this cavity right here, because that's what happened. Once I looked in there and I seen it, I was like, okay, we got to do something about that. And we did, and that fixed the problem. So now we're just going to button this thing back up, get the screws back in it, try and get this together, and we're going to get it strung up in this video, and we're going to play some tunes on this thing. Now, I may save you the heartache and grief of me going through the stringing up process and all the stretching and all that good stuff, but just the same, we are going to get to hear what this guitar sounds like. I'm going to get to feel how it plays. Have not checked this fretboard, but let's go ahead and do the tap test. We are in the bridge position right now. Everything is 210. We are plugged into the little Millionaire benchtop amp. I love this thing. It makes life so convenient. And this as well, this came with the stretch kit. That makes life easy too whenever I'm checking these pickups on the bench and I don't have to warm up the big carbon or turn everything on that makes my monitors and mixer and everything work. So right now we are in the bridge position, and here we go. Nothing on the neck. Let's go to the middle. And let's go to the neck. Nothing on the bridge, everything on the neck. So it's working. String pickers. All we've got to do now is string this thing up. I do want to check the fretboard level, and I want to go over these frets again just to be sure that I don't have any high frets. We're going to do all that off camera. And then we're going to string this thing up and we are going to play it, because I have waited a while to get my hands on this, and I think it's about time that I do so. These don't look too bad, but I really want some of those brass pickup covers to go over them so that it will kind of match the hardware and the tuning pegs up here. But that is coming in the future, and I am going to actually get on. Let's see, what was the measurement on that? Let's check on what. See, my brother Chris, BCG 5150 Guitars. If you are not subscribed to his channel, you need to go check him out. Super smart dude. And he checked his the other day from pole to pole, center of the pole to center of the pole, and that is 50, and those will be 52. So we're going to break right here, and the next time you see me, I'm going to be jamming on this thing.
One eternity later.
And there it is, string pickers. Got a bit of my arm print on it, but that's her in all of her glory. I don't know why, but the name Phoenix calls out to me. You like the Dirty Harry sticker back there? That's something that Alan put on there, and just for him, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave it there. It's kind of cool. So, but yeah, I kind of thought about the name Phoenix because Phoenix is more of a mythological bird that could breathe fire, you know. So I thought, you know, that's a pretty good name for it because it kind of looks like fire. You know what I mean? And this thing is just... it's amazing. It's going to look even better. I have ordered the brass pickup covers to come in for this thing. So I think that's really going to set it off. But guys, this thing plays like a Les Paul. Like there is very, very little difference in how it plays. And I've played Les Pauls before. This one, there's very, very little difference. Now, it did give me some troubles. I did have 2 frets that I had to peck down. One I had to file down. The other one I just needed to peck a little bit. But the fret right here, I had to file this one down on this side. I don't know why it was like that, but I dressed it up. Everything is fine. Our action is at 1.3 maybe. It's less than 1.5, but more than 1.25, so maybe 1.35. I don't know. It just goes from 1.25 to 1.5 on my scale. I mean, like, get off my back. It's a measurement, okay? And on the bottom, we're looking at 1.25 on the action down there. The nut seems to be cut just fine. At some point, though, I'm afraid that nut is going to give out because it is plastic, and I just know it's going to happen. So we may go back and replace that nut at a later date. Did put a little muzzy broadhead up there in the top, you know, because I used to be a big hunter and I really never had any use for that pin, and it kind of covers up where that dime was screwed in there. So instead of refinishing the whole headstock, I thought I'd get it to look, you know, halfway cool with that thing on there. And yeah, so, you know, it done it. Now, I did run into some problems while I was wiring this thing, and I got everything wired up by the book. You guys, you know, heard before, one of the leads back here in the 3-way switch was actually sticking out and touching the shielding paint, which is grounded on the side of that cavity. The cavity is actually really small for that kind of 3-way switch. What came out of it was a box style 3-way switch, so that thing was gone. And so I've just tossed it to the side and put the new switch in there. It's a lot more snappy, feels really good, you know. It's a great guitar, man. I mean, to come from nothing, just bones, and that was it. Just bones. And we've put this thing through the mill, string pickers, and it's come out the other side an absolute beauty. So we're going to go through some tone samples. We're going to do clean and then dirty and then lead and then metal. That's how we're going to do it. So I'm going to swap back and forth between some rigs that I have built on my headrush over here and let you guys hear what this thing sounds like. We'll start with clean. Okay, now this is bridge pickup on the clean. Middle position, both pickups. And the neck position. Okay, now that's took care of that. Let's go into lead tones and show you guys what that sounds like. This will be bridge pickup. And in the middle position. and in the neck position. Okay, now we're going to go to sort of an overdrive type rig, and let me show you guys what that sounds like in the bridge position. In the middle position. And in the neck position. And the whole reason why we're here, we are going to do just our high gain rig, and we're only going to be using a humbucker. It sounds a bit muddy in the neck position, and so we'll just use the humbucker for this one, but I'll show you guys what this sounds like, and it's impressive, man. These SAFU pickups are just, I mean, every one that I try just seems to not disappoint. Now, these are not the Invader clones. These are just SAFU branded pickups, but very well made, great output, sound great. So let me show you what this sounds like. That is insane. That is just crazy. It's, I don't know what to say. Guys, I'm just going to tell you, the first time I looked at this guitar, when I looked at the front of it, I thought, man, what a beautiful finish. What a fantastic finish on this guitar. I kept seeing what this guitar could become. Then I'd look at the back of it and I was thinking, man, it's going to need pickups. I got to fill holes because somebody dremeled out the cavity. It was a lot of work. It really was. It is now about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've been working on this since about 10 o'clock this morning. And I've just on it and on it, on it. I've had the parts for a few days, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it and get this thing going, you know. I am missing the brass pickup covers. Those are coming. I've got a set of those coming, so that'll hopefully set this guitar off in a way that it just can't be set off. I like the black pickups like this, but I think the brass covers will look amazing. So I want to just change it to that, and yeah, so you know, this one's going to live here. Alan, buddy, thank you once again for the opportunity to get to work on this guitar. Otherwise, if I'd looked at this guitar somewhere and seen the name Austin, I'd been like, nah, you know. But now playing one, it's crazy. I did Scotch-Brite the back of the neck, come down to a little V right there, kind of followed the headstock pattern. I worry about this guitar because it doesn't have a volute, and I'm afraid if I ever drop this thing that it's going to bust right at the scarf joint right here. But it was real sticky, and now it's just smooth as silk. It's just it's a great guitar. So that's all I got for you, string pickers. That is the Austin AU something or another. I would just like to thank you guys for coming by on this little 2-video journey to get this guitar up and playing. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. There's been like from the last video clip before I started jamming with it and done the little, you know, playthrough thing earlier. I played it for a couple of hours or longer. I was just like very impressed. And of course, I always do that to try and make sure it doesn't need tweaking somewhere, and it did in a couple of spots, but I caught those early and took care of the problem. It was just those 2 frets. One of them went in easily enough with a hammer. The other one Took a little bit more. Had to do some sanding on it and polishing and getting it back. But you know, it's a great guitar, man. And like I said, I think I'll name it Phoenix, because everything that I've ever heard of Phoenix is like a legendary bird that breathes fire, you know, and that's kind of what that thing looks like. It's just, you know, a big fireball, you know. But that's it, guys. That's what I have for this video. I do so appreciate each and every one of you who like, subscribe, and comment down below. You don't know how much that's appreciated. And those of you out there that are just watching this video, you know, what are you doing, man? It's just a click of a button. That's all it is. Just click the button. Just click it. Just click it. I appreciate you guys too. You know, you're coming in, you're watching these videos and stuff like that. Maybe one day I'll earn your subscription. If not, that's okay too. You can just keep on watching. It's okay by me. If you like this stuff and you don't want to hit that button, I mean, come on, you know? But you can still click the button. But guys, that's all I got for you. I would just like to say that I pray you and yours are having the most blessed day ever, and I pray that God is with you all. Until next time, play.